I'm Owen Griffiths, I'm an artist, I live in Swansea. Moved back here about 4 years ago after living to and from Swansea, based here now, working in my square mile a lot of the time and working with communities on issues around land, the ideas of art util, this idea of developing constituency models and this idea of democratising museums and cultural spaces to foster collaboration and co-authorship. I think the aim is to kind of relook at things that we do normally. So if we think of like the normal way we do things, the normal way we regenerate a space, or the normal practices are very exclusive. They're locked into a power dynamic, and they block out loads of people. They marginalise lots of parts of our communities constantly. So how do we kind of break down and reinvent and rethink these ways of working? So that's what I'm interested in, and that's what I'm trying to do with my practice. Well, I think in Wales, austerity is a massive challenge for us when you work with communities. The lack of resources and the connectivity between communities and the neoliberal agendas, post-Thatcherism, are really still at work. So how do we kind of combat that? How do we make spaces where actually, in a culture of austerity, we're actually creating a really rich and generous and collaborative space? And that's hard work. So it is challenging territory. And now we're looking at climate change, looking at Brexit, all these kinds of things. How the hell do we make an art practice in this context that connects to people and place, and that asks questions about how do you want to live, how can we do this better, and how can we resource ourselves to articulate the challenges and things we want to do? So how do we empower? I think that's critically what we're trying to do in the practice. But the challenges are really about capitalism. And unless we start talking about capitalism, I don't know how we can go forward, really. Because capitalism is tied into racial injustice, into everything. And it's really critical that we kind of own up to it and start challenging the power structures. I'm looking forward to developing from this gathering today, from this AN Assembly today, more networked, more collaborative platforms for the work that I want to do. So looking at how we can bring the principles that John was talking about today from useful artworks, how we can bring some of these practices to Swansea, and how we can model different ways of working. So that's what I'm really looking forward to, is developing more of the projects and more critical engagement. No. Don't give advice. Just do what you want to do and don't care whether it's art or not. Just do what you want to do.